Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Glendale. I'm Robert Heidt, President and CEO of the Glendale Chamber of Commerce. And today we have the one, the only Yvonne Knack, former Vice Mayor, former Chair of our board, head of our Public Policy Committee, head of this Downtown Strategic Leadership Advisory Committee. She is the grand poobah, the one that makes everything work with Kiwanis and everything all Glendale. She's served on every committee, council, task force that the city has probably ever had. So without further ado, please help me welcome the one and only Yvonne Knack. Hey, Yvonne, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Robert. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So I gave a lengthy little introduction there to say about who you are and some of the things you've done, because that list just goes on and on and on. And I left out prominent business owner, property owner. I mean, as I sit here, it's just more and more pop into my mind. So for anyone who may not be familiar with who you are, would you just take a moment and tell us about who Yvonne actually is?
Oh, well, okay. Actually, I was a resident of Glendale for 35 years. Moved to Arizona in 1960. I have a husband, David, and 4 girls, and 6 grandchildren now. Youngest is 20 months, and the oldest is 28 years. So, wow. And I'm retired State Farm agent after almost 26 years, but 49 years with State Farm. And that's why I own property downtown Glendale. That was my office. And with all the other community service I do, I am not retired. I am still very busy, and I don't do anything I don't want to do, and I enjoy every minute of it.
We love it. So where should we start? Let's start with Kiwanis. So it's right there behind you. It's part of who you are, servicing for children, the community. It's something that you're very, very proud of. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's happening with Kiwanis Club of Glendale?
Okay. Well, first of all, the name Kiwanis, everybody's always like, that is such a strange name, and they don't get it. Well, the Kiwanis came from Knaack Kiwanis, which is an American Indian phrase that means we trade. So we were founded, the international organization was founded in 1915 in Detroit, Michigan. And a few years later, they changed that motto to "We build," meaning we build leaders, good citizens, good students. So the Kiwanis Club of Glendale was actually founded in 1972. So our 50th year is coming up next year.
Congratulations.
We're very excited about that. I have been a member for 25 years, the club, so half of the club's, history. Our mission is to improve the world, as it says, serving the children of the world. One can make a difference, one community at a time, one organization at a time, one project at a time, one volunteer at a time, and one child at a time. So that is our mission. Our club has 28 members right now, 8 of which are chamber members. We're very tied into the chamber. In fact, your employee and grand poobah from the division, Harry Shapiro, was our governor for the Southwest District. We're very proud of that. We do, lots of service projects. That's our goal. Did you have anything specific you wanted to ask me before I went on to that?
No, I think one is, thank you for reminding everyone about Kiwanis. I knew that it was in the early years of the 1900s, but I wasn't sure. So you actually taught us all a factoid today. And you're right, Harry was the recent governor, and you've got some amazing members who are also chamber members. Some of the programs you do that we're familiar with, but others may not. I know you do a shopping day where you take kids and will pair them up and go out into the community and shop. You do Stuff the Bus, a golf. Why don't you touch on a few of those events that have impact? Because certainly with any type of nonprofit, but with coming out of COVID the way we have been, your coffers have been shuttered a little bit. Mm-hmm. So how do those events impact what you do as well?
Right. Well, this last year has been a challenge for all nonprofits. Obviously, we haven't been able to fundraise like we had in the past, but we also weren't able to do a lot of the projects. So it's a wash. It's actually coming out as a wash this year. So We're gearing back up to do fundraising, to do our projects. We do scholarships. We sponsor 2 Key Clubs. Key Club stands for Kiwanis Educates Youth. It's not a key in a door, it's Kiwanis Educates Youth. So we do scholarships each year for graduating Key Clubbers who have done a lot of community service, and of course are academically awarded for that too. We do the back to school clothes shopping, which we were not able to do. We usually take 70 kids back to school clothes shopping at Kohl's.
Yvonne, let me make sure I heard that number right. 70 kids.
70, wow. 70 kids.
Very impactful.
Glendale Elementary School District, we partner with them and they choose the children and bring them in on the buses. And we have 120 volunteers that actually take these kids shopping. And it's so rewarding because some of these kids have never, ever bought anything new. They've never been on a shopping trip. They're just actually having more fun, just seeing what's in a store. And the heartwarming thing is so many of them, instead of wanting to buy stuff for them, they want to buy things for their baby sister or their mom or something, which is really neat. We usually have Spider-Man come. It's just really a fun day. Everybody thinks that's one of the best events that we do. So we do really enjoy that. We do Read Around the World for literacy, where we buy books, usually about $3,000 worth a year. And we actually go into the schools and read to the kids, and each child gets a book. Of course, we were not able to do that this year, but we still gave them books. We just weren't able to read to them, which is half the fun. You want to be able to read to the kids because their questions and their reactions are hysterical. So they're usually small kids.
They say they're some of the most honest.
I know, boy, that's the truth. We support the food bank, of course. We do Christmas for kids with the Glendale Elementary School District. We do prom clothing for foster children. And we do partner with other organizations like OCJ Kids. We just bought weighted blankets for the children in foster homes. Wow. It gives them a sense of security. So we bought a bunch of weighted blankets for them recently. We bought tubs that they can put toiletries in when they age out. We work with them quite a bit. Salvation Army, same. I mean, we ring the bell for them. We help with Christmas, whatever we can do with the Salvation Army, we help too. We also work with, of course, the Glendale Elementary School District. Naturally, that's where we normally get our kids. But we work with Heart for the City, which is another youth organization here that Joe Araquez runs in Glendale. We have bought, football uniforms for them. Helmets, things like that these kids could not afford to have. And they really need that outlet, especially now, to get outside and have a healthy, life and learn discipline and have a way to express themselves. So we work with them. We partnered, we do get grants, some grants. The Legacy Foundation, they matched us $4,000 last year for teaching cards or teaching stuff cards that we give to the new teachers in the Glendale Elementary School District because they come in and they don't have any supplies or anything. Right. So we were able to match it, and we bought $8,000 worth of $50 gift cards for 150 teachers to go into the teaching stuff and get supplies. So that they love it. I mean, they're so excited to be able to have that opportunity. We also got a grant from the Phoenix Suns, which really carried us through. That was a couple of years ago, and that's what's really carried us through this last year to be able to still do some things because we were able to get a grant from them. The Arizona Community Foundation has also been a sponsor, and John F. Long Foundation. They match our scholarship money. So nice. Anytime we can get somebody to match, that just doubles our ability to help kids. So that's pretty much what we do.
Well, I love it. And, the impact is profound. I mean, you know it, the members of your club know it. We see the great work that goes on in the community. One event you didn't touch on that I don't know what the likes of that will be for 2021, your annual steak fry. I know a lot of people look
Right.
forward to that. That wasn't able to happen last year. Any plans to look at that for 2021?
Right. Well, we do 3 fundraisers, major fundraisers. One is a Texas Hold'em poker tournament. One is our golf tournament, which is our 27th annual, and we are doing that May 14th. So if anybody is interested, and it's timely, let us know. That's a big one. And then our steak fry, which is our biggest, and this will be our 40th annual. We normally have in October at Soar Ranch Park, but I just found out that they're remodeling all the ramadas and they won't be done. So my dilemma now is to try to find another place to hold this. So that's I have my work cut out for me now, but we definitely plan on doing it this year.
Good. Well, keep us posted. So I know
Absolutely.
that your club meets every other week, correct?
Right now, normally it's every Wednesday, but right now it's the first and third Wednesday at noon at Manuel's at 57th Avenue in Peoria. You can't beat the food. And we do have, we usually have a pretty good turnout even now because we meet on the patio. So people feel more comfortable being outside. Nice. So if anybody's interested in any of the work we do and is looking for a club to join and to do community service, you will not find a better club. And we have a website, which is Kiwanis Club of Glendale.com. You can call me and if you want to know about Kiwanis more, you can go on to Kiwanis1.org. That's the international website. And it'll tell a lot more about what Kiwanis does, because we are an international organization and we have eradicated neonatal tetanus in most of the world. Things like that we work with UNICEF. So we have a broader vision, but we also focus mainly on our local community.
Well, you definitely are the glue that keeps it together. I know you have some great members and a lot of volunteers that pull it together, but I do believe that you've been the leader of the pack for a while with the club. And so it takes a lot of work and a lot of commitment, a lot of time. So, on behalf of the chamber and our community, thank you, because your impact is profound. And I know the Glendale Elementary School District appreciates it. And, other partners, as you mentioned, OCJ Kids and others, again, it just keeps paying it forward. So let's change gears a moment, Yvonne. So we can certainly help everyone, guide them to Kiwanis if they have any questions. You're a former vice mayor, been involved in local government for a long time, past chair of our board, very, very involved. What are your thoughts of where we are today, from where you sat on council to where we're headed? Any thoughts or words of wisdom to share?
Well, it's history. You look at it differently when you look in the past than you do in the future. And I look back now and I think of all the great things that the leaders of Glendale did over the past couple decades, making us the entertainment, place in Arizona. We really are, with the stadium being built and the arena being built, and now all the development. The recession really, really hurt. And we were going, full board until the recession hit in 2008. And then things changed greatly. And it's really taken all this time to kind of come back from that. And now we're seeing with, all the new development, it's amazing how much development is happening in Glendale right now. And I couldn't be happier. It's so nice to see good quality revenue generating, businesses for this city, because Glendale's a great city, and we primarily need to take care of our residents. And I see we're finally getting our roads going. They're doing pavement management. So I see Glendale, the future for Glendale is extremely bright. I can't think of a better place to be. So I'm very hopeful for the future of Glendale. We've had so much controversy in the past about the sales tax, and which we had to do at the time. I think now is the time to start thinking about possibly lowering that a little bit or removing the food tax. You know, we need to really think about those things for the future of Glendale.
Well, like you said, many past leaders have contributed to where we are today. The success that we're seeing is built upon those who served before us. You know, and certainly I think anytime conversations can happen around taxation or what we did versus what we can do, those are good conversations to have. Even if nothing changes, the fact that we push pause, we have dialogue, we figure out where things are and then how to move forward best to serve not only today, but also the future, because you're always looking ahead of what the future will hold. So with that, switching gears again on you, we'll pivot around. So you've been a part of the Glendale Chamber for as long as you've been in business, probably as long as you've been in Glendale. You've seen evolution.
26 years, I think. Yeah.
So you've seen the evolution and change in our organization. You were on the hiring committee that actually chose to bring me on board. So thank you very much. A little over 8 years ago. So thoughts of where the chamber was and where we are and where we're headed. Anything you want to share with those that are involved?
Oh, you know, Robert, you have done a magnificent job. I just cannot tell you the difference that where the chamber is now to where it was 26 years ago. I mean, but a lot of people had a lot to do with that. I mean, there are a lot of good people at the chamber that pushed us forward over the years. But truly, you're coming here. So I'm very proud to have been one of the ones that hired you, because you have exceeded my expectations with the chamber. You know, you really have branched out in so many ways to help business and the community. I mean, it's not just about business, it's about the community and the residents. And your dedication to our downtown and helping us get that revitalized. I'm really, and the people at the chamber now, they're awesome. You know, I couldn't ask for better people to work with. Shay Kincaid is our downtown manager. She's the best. So we have a good crew now. And I just think the Glendale Chamber is moving upward and onward, just like the city of Glendale is.
No, I think it's great. And again, there was a rich history before I arrived on scene. And so we've been able to embrace those things and then build upon and certainly go forward, and we'll continue to do that.
Absolutely.
You know, so then Yvonne, there's a million and one things. Since you're retired, we're not going to ask you to give us the trade secrets of insurance. We thought you might want to give those, but I think there might be a couple more year moratorium before you can actually tell us the trade secrets behind insurance. But I do know you're a wealth of knowledge with that if anybody ever has a question. Thoughts of things that we didn't talk about before we wrap up today? I don't want to take too much of your time, but you know, we could go on about a number of different things, but is there anything specific that I didn't ask you that you'd like to make sure that we talk about before we wrap up today's interview?
No, I just think I appreciate everybody's steadfastness when it comes to the COVID restrictions and trying to get past this. You know, I fortunately have had both my shots. I did have COVID. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. So I really, truly believe that wearing masks and social distancing is still going to be a part of our future. And I hope people really understand it's for the best of everybody. It's not, to me, it's not a freedom issue. It's taking care of your neighbor. Like a good neighbor, you know, you need to be there. So I really, you know, I just hope people realize that their community means everything. Your neighbors, your friends, your family, you know, the politics aside, we need to come together as a community and help with whichever way we can. And that's always been my belief. That's why I'm so involved in community service organizations, because I really do think it begins with you. You know, it's everybody can sit at home on their and not do anything, but we need everybody to pitch in and help everybody else. I mean, there's so many people in need right now. So I really encourage people, like I said, if you're interested in joining a community service organization, talk to me. If not, just volunteer somewhere and help people, help your neighbor, be understanding, thoughtful, and, you know, love everybody. I'm just, that's little kumbaya there, but it's okay. That's the way I feel. You know, it makes the world a better place.
Well, it's like the saying, give where you live. So whether you're giving your time, your talent, your treasures, whatever you've got to give it where you live, enrich that community. So with that, Yvonne, we cannot thank you enough for your many years of dedication to not only the Glendale Chamber, but our entire community. Whether or not it's been an organization that you're directly involved with, you've always championed everyone and everything in Glendale. You're truly one of a kind. We're better because of you and your wisdom and your leadership. So thank you, thank you. And with that, we will say thanks for joining us today on Good Morning Glendale. If anyone wants to be connected with Yvonne, don't hesitate to reach out to us, or you'll probably see her when we get back to our in-person events. But we hope that you have a wonderful day. And Yvonne, any final thoughts or words?
Nope, thank you. I appreciate it very much. The opportunity is wonderful. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time on Good Morning Glendale.